Buying off the plan without renders. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee because we're going to talk about a Reddit post where someone is asking if they should be buying off the plan without interior renders. Now, if you've been a regular of the channel, you know I'm quite concerned with the idea of buying off the plan because, well, as an architect, I know how much can change during the construction process. But even I am surprised at some of the horror stories I've read over the last couple of years of people buying an apartment off the plan and then not even getting a bloody courtyard like they were entitled to, not even getting this or that or the other. I remember there was one project where they had built a showroom. They'd built a physical showroom, and they were showing all of these prospective buyers, all these nice fixtures, fittings, these taps, these stoves, everything. And then what they'd do, there'd be nice brand name products there that are expensive. And you'd be spending, this was a big development. And then what they do is they get knockoffs made in China and stick those in people's apartments. So if you can't even trust a physical showroom, how are you going to be able to trust, renders, really? So let's check this one out here. Oh, wait, that's Angry Video Game Nerd that I'm looking into, but not this. This is the Reddit post. So, buying off the plan without interior images. Now, honestly, I would not recommend you buy off the plan at all. If you do, you need to make sure the contracts specifically outline the fixtures, the fittings, the internal usable square meterage area that you're getting, particular dimensions that you want to ensure you get, because all of that can change. They're just conceptual drawings. Sometimes the marketing stuff will be prepared before you've even had an engineer go over the project. So it can all change. But they're never gonna address, they'll just say, nope, sorry, we won't sell it to you for that. Yeah, anyway. I was looking at a soon-to-be-completed off-the-plan property. The brochure had computer-generated exterior images as well as details of the finishes and pictures of the taps, door handles, etc., but no computer-generated images of what the interior is expected to look like. I mean, does it matter? It's only a render. It's not completely realistic. I guess, do people expect it to be? I mean, you want it to be close. I mean, here's the challenge when you're creating visualizations. You want them to be close enough for people to get an emotional response and understanding of what the space is going to look like. But, I mean, you can really push it hard to get super photorealistic. But is it worth it? Sometimes it isn't. It depends on the type of projects. Here in a marketing project, yeah, probably. I mean, it wouldn't. It's a multi-res project, getting some renders done is not that difficult. Asked the agent if any interior images have been created and was told no images are required as it's a hot property. So they don't want to spend the $500 to $2,000 to get it done overseas or even here in Australia because it's a hot property. Is it common practice not to produce interior images? The way the agent responded to the request seemed a bit off to me. Maybe, I guess. So let's have a look here at some of the responses. Don't rely on the renders. Rely on specification documentation. That's what the builder will supply and install, not the flashy renders. 100%, the first response here is the correct one. The renders don't mean anything. It can all change. It's just an idea. That's why often you'd even just do pencil or line renders just to get an understanding of the space. And I mean, you do it on the computer, you don't do it by hand. We do a lot of stuff in Lumion where we walk through the spaces to allow people to get an understanding of it, kind of creating a little animation to sell an idea. This should be upvoted more. Yes, I'll upvote that. OP could also use a 3D or specifically building rendering software with the given dimensions to get a sense of the space, if that's part of the reason they want to do it. Well, yeah, I mean, you don't want to do it yourself, do you? Soon to be completed and still for sale does not equal hot property. The good developments sell out or come close before construction has even begun. Well, times have changed. Times have certainly changed. If it's soon to be completed, you could walk in the space. You should be able to go in there, organize a time to go on site, get an inspection to have a look and see what's going on. Contract fell through apparently, but yes, I agree with your point. So what happened? Is that the different guy? It is. Okay. So he didn't end up buying it. It can, wait a minute. No, there were... this is one of the ones left over. Okay. Other people were rushing to the property and it just fell through, probably because interest rates are going up and they couldn't afford it. It can happen around now when finance falls through for some buyers. Happening in my building. Admittedly, the sale price is about 180 more than it was when construction commenced a year ago. Oh, there you go. Hot property means if you don't like it, we can easily give it to someone else. So you either have to take on that risk or choose to look elsewhere. Hot property means they haven't been bothered to install the AC anywhere, and the temperature inside the living room is currently 48 degrees. Sounds like a shit box. If it were attractive to buyers to make interior images, they'd do it. Yeah, well, maybe it doesn't look good inside. maybe they just haven't had time to do it. I mean, yeah, I mean, what's the biggest thing? It's the bathroom and the kitchen, isn't it? Buying a house to live in with no clue about how it looks is total lunacy. Well, remember when people were buying complete properties off the plan or buying it from interstate overseas where they weren't even looking at the properties. Remember that? During the lockdowns, during the crazy times, it really went nuts. People really went nuts for property. And that's why it shot to the moon. It literally rocketed to the moon. People went absolutely crazy. And now it's coming down from that. So no one should be surprised. I wonder where that hot property is located, given that it is a block of units that is soon to be completed. My understanding is that we do not have that many hot spots, given that there will be lots of units coming onto the market in many capital cities. While not perfect, you could maybe push for more detailed plans. So you could judge the finishes. You know what you could do? Just get internal elevations. They should have prepared internal elevations of every room in the building, at the very least, so you know where all the PowerPoints are, what all the finishes are, unless it's cheaply documented. Which, if it's D&C, design and construct, real cheap, might be. And then there's a warning sign. Here we go. Speaking from recently buying an off-the-plan apartment at a time when the developers hadn't even sold enough units yet to qualify for a building loan, they had a showroom with the actual finishes that would be used, and these were all detailed in an appendix on my purchase contract with photos. They ended up delivering an excellent apartment with amazing attention to detail on the finishes and interior. If your agent can't supply you with that at a minimum, I'd be concerned about them cutting corners during delivery, as they have nothing holding them and can easily turn around and say, for illustrative purposes only. Yes, 100%, that's the answer. Well, there we go, guys. So let's have a bit of a talk about this. So, would you buy it without interior renders? I mean, yeah. I can't really answer that, because on every project I do interior visuals. I go back and forth with our animation software and our design software, so we'll take it in from one to the other to play as we're designing and problem solving. I mean, it's not photo quality. It's obviously an animation, but the materials are right and the lighting looks good, and that's really all you need for a lot of the stuff. So, yeah. I mean, it's a lot easier to get. I remember once I had a meeting with, I was brought to a healthcare provider, and they were looking for someone to do renders of all of their rooms. And I'm going, well, I'm an architect. You can hire me if you want to do like a project. For renders, go to your other architect that you've got who's already done these designs you've got. They can do the visuals for you. Well, they should be able to. Because often that's some of the fun stuff too, and you don't want to miss out on that, do you? We'll see, guys. What do you reckon? I mean, it comes down to the specification. The renders, they're just the renders. I wouldn't trust them. As always, thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Check out HeiseBim and Heise does for other content I produce. And if you're a fan and want to support us, you can financially on YouTube or Patreon, using our referral links, buying our pocket squares, or calling us if you need an architect. Take care, everyone. Have a great day. I'll see you in the next episode of HeiseSays. Bye for now.